Hi everyone. Good to see ya. Hope you had a good week. Finished watching the Buffalo Bills win against Jacksonville, and that was amazing. So go Bills. Last week I had put out chapter 13, or I had said I'd put out chapter 13. It was actually chapter 12. So this week I'm going to put out chapter 13 of my book, She Will Cry Out, She Will Sing. It's kind of a longer chapter, but it's got a lot of the trauma timeline information on it. So this is when we really start getting into the trauma timeline and the meat and potatoes of the book. So let's go ahead. So chapter 13 is titled Resilience. This was 7/20/22, Wednesday. This was day 13. As always, I start with a quote. This was by James Casquillo. It says, resilience is all about being able to overcome the unexpected. The goal isn't to just survive, but thrive. Now my words. I made it. 2 weeks almost. What a wild morning, though. Extremely emotional. I got super sick to my stomach this morning. It's the alcohol. I'm not hungover, but I threw up wine. Probably beer, too. It's time to cut back. I'm going to talk to Abigail tomorrow about the anxiety. I need help with it. I'm self-medicating. This must end, Jaren. Slowly, Jaren. Easy. Be kind to yourself. But I'm proud of you for recognizing this may be a problem. On top of that, I sent Bo, and Bo is the faux father's girlfriend's name, pseudonym. I sent Bo the 80 plus pages I have written. That was a big one. It's difficult with family. So this was the first time that I had let anybody in the family of origin know that I was writing a book, that I was turning this into a book. And it blew up in my face, as you'll see. But she's been more supportive than anyone so far, for about a minute. I'm so fucking grateful for that. She read all of this. She asked questions. We cried together. She understands. Someone finally understands. No, she doesn't. She wanted to know why I haven't voiced that I am in so much pain. I couldn't. I had no idea how to. This is the first time I've been able to express myself fully. I just never could before. I wanted to so badly. Felt like I was trying to scream through my art. The pieces that were just for me, not the commissioned pieces. I was trying. I just could not vocalize it all. And I was overwhelmed and drowning. But it's been this way for as long as I can remember. Pain was normal. I didn't know it could be any better. And then the physical pain of my back injury, just another type of debilitating pain, compounded. Too much. I was gone. In the pit. No way out in sight. So long. Years. I can't believe I survived it. I can't believe my strength. Time to muster more. It's time to get started, Jaren. Here we go again. Do the work. Trauma timeline, peeing pants in kitchen. The faux father accidentally scaring me, 2 to 3 years old. I honestly don't know about this one. I think I may have processed it well already. Maybe. We shall see. I was in the kitchen, against the very back wall. We had been playing. I had to pee. I didn't want to stop playing. I was potty trained. I decided to pee there. Maybe I was just in the middle of potty training. I'm not sure. Anyway, I was peeing my pants. I can't believe I just wrote that sentence. The faux father came crawling on the floor around the corner and caught me. It startled the hell out of me. I began bawling my eyes out. Everyone thought I had the piss scared out of me. Literally. But I know I was peeing before. Guilt. Damn. Guilt is very strong. Maybe 2 years old. 40 years later, I still feel guilty. For being deceitful. That's crazy. Shame. I'm sure that there was that as well. Damn. Emotions are supremely strong and prevalent, even that young. All right, let's move on. Getting the gun pulled on me at the pool. This one was a lot. And I live in Joe's old condo today. So I still go to that pool. I was with my dad for the weekend, 4 years old. His friends were getting married in the clubhouse. I was 4, bored. Weddings and love were stupid. There was a pool. There, all caught up. Succinct. I begged my dad to let me go to the pool. He finally got fed up and told me to go. Alone? Really? The pool? Sweet. So off I went, intending to go to the little kid pool. I walked out to the sunshine. There were 3 men in suits by the little kid pool. I stopped in my tracks. Stranger danger. The men looked at me. One reached in the inside of his jacket pocket and pulled out a gun. I don't remember if he pointed it at me. I remember screaming and running back to my dad. I told him everything in a panic. By the time we got there, the men were gone, of course. I just remember not being believed. Jaren has an active imagination. Bullshit. I know what happened. Unsafe. Here we go again. Theme of my life. And the not being believed, I've been so angry about that for so long. I can't imagine not believing something like that for my son or students. Inconceivable. So angry for so long, but I have been reliving it for 40 years. I know what happened. The truth shall set you free. Fuck, it's so hard to go through these, but I'm not crying right now. That's good, right? It's not triggering me. Holy shit, it's not triggering me. Not like it used to. And I talked about it mostly calmly. Good. Same now. Okay, this is good. Keep going. Next part of the timeline, here we go. 4 years old, Joe telling me the devil was just in my head. 4 years old, the maternal figure telling Joe to stop coming around or she would coach me into saying he molested me. 4 years old, preschool holding the sheet or blanket over my head. 4 or 5 years old, grandma getting drunk and breaking the margarita or martini glass on my knee. 4 or 5 years old, dream about grandma getting head chopped off in the wagon. Oh boy, now these are rough. Joe telling me the devil was just in my head. Now, this has an element of humor now, but I remember I was 4 years old. It was terrifying. Holy shit, the Disneyland trip. Holy shit. Okay, that is most definitely a traumatic event. I can't believe I forgot about that. I'll get to it after. Okay, hold on. Before I go any further. So, if you do narrative exposure therapy and you do a trauma timeline, there are going to be traumatic events that you don't remember that you put on the trauma you don't put on the trauma timeline. These events, it's normal for them to come up as you're doing the work. I would have like 5, 6, 7 of them at a time come up, of these traumatic events that I had suppressed, and it's called trauma flooding. I learned this later. So there's going to be a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of traumatic events that just pop in my head that I had suppressed, that as I'm doing the work, they come out. Okay. Devil in my head. So when I was 4, I asked my dad if the devil was real or just a story. Thoughts of the devil from Fantasia in my head. Flippantly, innocently, my dad said, "No, honey, he's just in your head." Oh shit, the fucking devil is in my head? It's okay. Laugh. I am. It's fucking funny. I legitimately thought I was possessed. Why the hell did the devil choose my head to take occupancy in? That night, back home, I couldn't sleep. I told Marjorie Taylor about the devil in my head. We cried. I told her what I wanted buried with me because, of course, I would die. My poor little brain. The parents heard me in my room having my freak out. I had to break the news to them. Their eldest was possessed. It's all over. Call the morgue. I remember the maternal figure being pissed. She called my dad right there and then and went off on him. Of course she would take it literally. Wait, what? What the hell's a figure of speech? I'm not worm food after all? Tears of relief. But the maternal figure does not forgive easily, and war was coming. Okay, everyone with me now? 3 deep breaths. Now laugh. It's okay. You're going to need it. I'm going to need it, because we are about to go through the worst one yet. Readers, you have had but a taste of what the maternal figure is capable of. This is the worst one, guys. This is the worst one. 4 years old, Joe is supposed to come and get me for visitation every other weekend. He begins not showing up. He has his excuses, but I don't understand, and I was upset. The maternal figure made a decision. No more Daddy Joe. He is no longer allowed around. I didn't understand. He's drawing me 101 Dalmatians for my room. We are supposed to go to Disneyland. Why can't he be around? For years, I did not understand. I don't remember where I first heard this story, but it has been told and verified many times. I even confronted her on it as an adult. She never denied it. She said, "I do not recall." Just like that. Fucking liar. She told Joe, "If you try coming around, I will coach Jaren into saying you molested her." Jesus Christ. And believe me, she makes no empty threats. Ever. My dad knew that. He had no choice. That would have ruined me. I had questioned it for years, just from the stories I'd heard. It already screwed with my head. And I wasn't even coached. Just the threat of it, the suggestion of it, made me leery of my father. And for that, I have always felt intense guilt and shame and anger. But towards my dad, he let her win. But he had no choice. But you left me with her, a fucking monster. The faux father was there. I thought he'd protect you. I needed you both, damn it. I needed to be protected from the maternal figure, and I wasn't. And that has caused intense anger and hurt and confusion in my life. This incident, I know, played one of the most pivotal roles in my development, and I hate her for it. Yep, let's do it again. 3 deep breaths and go. Told you it was getting dark. Getting dark. Okay, let's be real. This is depressing as fuck. But it's real, and it's out now. I need to remember to throw in an inappropriate joke in here, occasionally to break the tension. God, I am pushing myself a lot. I have to take a break. This is too much. Okay, I folded laundry. I needed to get my mind out of this for a while. It's so overwhelming. No wonder I tried to block out so much. No wonder the flashbacks. Abuse is horrific and taboo and unforgivable. Joe was very astute when we reconnected when I was 15 years old. He studied me closely. We talked over everything, slowly. I was very leery. He told me, "I just can't believe you managed to stay whole." Damn, I was strong, but I sure as hell was not whole. But I sure as hell had my best masks always at hand. Show the world you are okay, breaking down inside. Such a long road, you weary soul. Soft, love yourself. Disneyland, 3 or 4 years old. Aunt Judith and Grandma. I watched way too many Disney movies. Fantasia scared the hell out of me. So did Maleficent. And the bitch was on stilts, walking in the parade, cackling, reaching out for the children. Fuck, must get away. She'll get you too, Jaren. Run. And I did, like a bat out of hell. Panicked. Fiercely searching for safety. Unsafe, find safe. There's Grandma. Grandma and Aunt Judith caught me, soothed me. You're okay. And I began calming down. We started to walk around. Maybe it will be okay. Oh shit. Nope. 3 little pigs. Big bad wolf. Panic. Run. Everything. All over again. No more. Please no more. Shortest trip to Disneyland ever. Okay, you may be laughing, but to me this was horrifying. I have no clue why I was so petrified, but for me it was extremely traumatic. My anxiety is killing me right now. 5:25. No alcohol. I'll have wine at 6. Trying to cut back and start later. The anxiety is so bad, though. I just want to peel my skin off. I think I need another break. Okay, these breaks are important. I keep pushing myself too hard. I have to be careful. Go easy, Jaren. Preschool. This one's hard. The teacher holding the sheet or blanket over my head. I hate this one. This one never went away. Ghetto daycare, rusted, stripped VW bug in the playground for us to play in. 3 or 4 years old. Marjorie Taylor is a baby. She's in the room down the hall. I actually liked this place for a while. I don't remember my teachers being mean ever before. This was new. Nap time. Everyone on their cot. Lead teacher in a very foul mood, fed up with all of us. She went to each child. Are you going to tell me no, that you won't take a nap? Some protested. Those that protested had the sheet and blanket pulled over their heads and were held down. What the hell is happening? Is this normal? I usually leave before nap time. Why don't the kids just say they won't say no? Uh-oh, she's coming. Are you going to tell me no, Jaren? No. So you're telling me no? Oh my God, no, that's not what I meant. Sheet and blanket over my head, adult on top of me. I can't see. I can't breathe. Panic, screaming no. But that just made them angrier. More weight on top of me. Fight. Fight, Jaren. And I did, with everything I had. So scared. Why? Stop. Unsafe. I must have dissociated. Something happened, because all I remember is coming to, blanket off my head. I was no longer crying. I was numb. I was so afraid for Marjorie Taylor, I needed to check on her. But the parents showed up. I don't remember telling them, but I know I did. The maternal figure went nuts and the daycare was shut down. But the damage to me and all those other kids was done. I wonder if it's the first time I dissociated. I think it may have been. I must have exhausted myself and then just surrendered. God, I was so terrified and so confused. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm okay with this one yet. It is still making me cry. That is the first time I have gotten through that one without crying. That was a major trauma. Major trauma. I can't believe I got through it without crying. Holy crap. Progress. Okay, on to the next. This one just breaks my heart because it involves my sweet, safe grandma. Yeah, I thought she was safe. Grandma was over at our apartment. I loved it so much when she was there. I was super excited and hyper. The faux father was making margaritas or martinis, I forget which, and Gram got hammered. She was telling the faux father off in the kitchen. I wanted to ask her a question. I went over to her, tugging on her clothes. Pay attention to me. Tug, tug. It was like slow motion. I still see it. She turned to me abruptly while asking what. As she was doing so, she knocked the martini or margarita glass off the table. It fell on top of my left knee, broke it into shards, and cut me deeply. So much blood. Instant pain. So much blood. I didn't understand. And Graham sobered up immediately. I felt bad that she felt so badly. She was crying, saying how sorry she was. Wet washcloth on knee, soaked immediately with my blood. The parents put pressure on it. I should have gone to the ER. I still have about an inch scar on my knee to this day. It should have had stitches. Okay, I never was mad at Grandma for this. I know it was an accident. It was just all very confusing, chaotic, and super painful. But she still feels badly. I used to tease her all the time. Flash of scar and feign anger. You maimed me. It was all just in fun. So I really don't know how traumatic this one was for me. I still relive it, but there is no anger associated with it. Next one. Nightmare about Gram. Getting her head chopped off and the wagon. Repetitive nightmares. This one was horrible. I began having reoccurring nightmares about someone hurting my Gram. Serious anxiety dreams. The nightmare began with the neighborhood kids playing outside. This is when Graham lived in the apartment across from us. The nightmare continued with the kids, breaking into her apartment, putting scotch tape on her mouth, and decapitating her. I was 4 or 5 years old. This fucking nightmare terrified me. I always found my grandma. I put her in our red wagon, and then I frantically used the scotch tape to tape her head back on. The first time I had this nightmare, it was in the middle of the night. I was so positive, so sure it was real. My parents had to call my Gram so I could ensure her safety. I thought it was an imposter at first. The damn nightmare was just so vivid, and I kept having it for the longest time. It was horrible. I was constantly in fear. I was so afraid of losing her. Shit, I still am. But for a 4 or 5-year-old, this was beyond traumatizing. I still think of it often, and it breaks my heart. So afraid to lose her. Holy crap, alright, moving right along. Next portion of the trauma timeline. Through childhood, praying to the angels to take me away when the maternal figure was being abusive and mean. Through childhood, Marjorie Taylor constantly saying the faux father isn't my real dad. Probably 7 or 8 years old. The maternal figure having panic attack on the bridge, backing down on-ramp. 7 or 8 years old. The maternal figure having panic attacks while driving, going to hospital and ambulance. 6 or 7 years old, seeing Jay's penis. Alright. So praying to the angels to take me away when I was being abused, and I just couldn't take anymore. This happened constantly throughout my childhood. I'd beg the angels, beg, just take me away. I'll be good, I promise. I wanted to die so badly. But I'll tell you all one messed up part. My grandma had come over. I was in trouble, sent to my room on my bed by the maternal figure, who knows why. I was crying to the angels. The maternal figure motioned to Grandma to quietly climb the stairs with her. I had no idea they were at the top of the stairs. I was crying and praying, and the maternal figure was laughing. Grandma says it was the saddest thing she's ever seen. I wonder what she was thinking as she was watching the maternal figure. I wonder how many times the maternal figure had sat right there and laughed at my pain. It's so hard not to hate her, not to become irate again, to rest my sword and shield, to stay calm. She's so sick. Her mind terrifies me. God help me if this book does well. I can't imagine what she'll do. Exhausting, and there's so much more, so damn much more. But what I want you to see, I have been living all of this over and over my entire life. It always feels as real as if it were happening today. That's been my 42 years until now, until about 3 weeks ago, until I was triggered by Adia. I would never speak of her in therapy. I thought I was obsessed, and that scared me, and I was ashamed. So I lived with all that trauma for about 20 years, living every day haunted by so many memories of her. What is wrong with you? You're sick. You're like the character in You. You're psycho. But I wasn't. I was traumatized, and I refused to speak about it. So I lived in my head, I lived in my hell in my own head alone for 20 years until I had an epiphany. I had to get answers. I had to. So I contacted her. She gave me her answers to my questions and tore me to my core. She can't remember much, brain issue of sorts. She doesn't remember having romantic feelings. My heart was shattered, and she didn't want anything to do with me. It was too much. In the middle of a breakthrough, I had a breakdown, I think. She can't remember what I can't forget and constantly relive. And that is my reality. And 2 weeks ago, it nearly overtook me. And it probably would have if I hadn't found my voice. No way before 3 weeks ago could I have been able to express myself like this. I had no clue how to. And it wasn't that I wasn't smart enough or creative enough. I just hadn't figured it out yet. But the trauma of Adia was so intense that it did something to me. Triggered me, helped me regain my sight, my voice. I still don't know, but I swear it feels like a miracle. And once I have my anxiety under control, I know I will be okay, no matter what, because I am finally healing. So no matter what I choose to do in the future, it will be brand new. I see through clearer eyes now. I am understanding more and more. I'm finding joy again, and get this, anger is no longer my go-to. Once that went away, I finally feel like the real me, and it's an exquisite feeling. I went through years and years and years of therapy and made some progress, but no one figured out the correct diagnosis until a couple of years ago. Once I found someone that knew what they were doing with trauma, everything came together absolutely perfectly. Exposure narrative therapy for trauma. I finally found it, what works for me. And I'm not reliving traumas as badly now. It's beginning to fade. It's working. And I can finally be back in the real world, in the present. God, it's hard to explain. I really hope this is making sense. And my feelings for Adia, 20 years of repressed emotions literally coming out all at once. Veil cleared, and I had to act. I was compelled to. Like a damn fool, I'm sure. But I didn't care. I needed clarity. And I've been searching for clarity on everything ever since. Everything. I can't get enough. And so I write. I think. I learn. I heal. Whew. It's a long chapter. Thanks for sticking with me. This is postscript. This is February of 2024. I had to take a bit of a hiatus on editing. I have moved, and for the time being, none of the narcissists in my life know where I am, thank God. My health struggles are still on the forefront of my mind. I did not have a heart attack. The issues with my heart had to do with me being extremely anemic. I am now taking iron twice a day. This is directly related to the possibility of uterine cancer. I have been bleeding heavily, causing anemia. I had the surgery on December 18th, or rather, I attempted to have the surgery on December 18th. The surgery failed. The surgeon kept trying to pull down my cervix to get to it to do the uterine ablation. But I kept moving while under anesthesia, which indicated that I could still feel it. The surgeon told me after the surgery that the cervix itself is set very far back and that it nearly tore the last time he tried to pull on it. The surgery became way too risky, so he ended it. I'm now being referred to the City of Hope with a wonderful surgeon. The surgery will be complex. I have opted for a full hysterectomy. I'm 44 years old now, no more kids. I don't need it at all anymore. And it is just more places for cancer to show up. Screw it, take it. They will, and will dissect and biopsy whatever they need to once this is all out of me. That's fine with me. I am out on disability right now, caused by work-related stress. I can't wait until it is safe to write about all of that. I will be going back in March, and I am not looking forward to all the stress and toxicity again. That job was hell. It's a teaching job, and it was hell. That place is the most toxic workplace I have ever known. And believe me, I have worked in extremely toxic environments before, so that's saying something. All right, time to delve into this chapter. There's so much to unpack. This was at a time where I finally was feeling that I could open up about the traumas from my childhood. Each one had been plaguing me for my entire life. It was so painful to write and to relive, and then reading it over and over, both in therapy as well as while writing and editing. Let's start with Bo. You see, I knew that I needed to let the faux father know I was going to put these books out to the world at this point. Yet I had no idea how to break that to him without him freaking out and blowing up. I had wanted Bo to read what I had wrote first, so that she may have been able to give me advice on how to break it to him. Big mistake. I did not understand that he may have NPD as well at the time. Narcissists do not want to be found out, especially covert narcissists, which I believe is what he is. At first, Bo was supportive. This did not last long. When the faux father found out about the book, he lost his shit. She believed his lies and bullshit over the truths I'd been unveiling. I believe this is due to the cognitive dissonance she feels. However, the way she began speaking to me was absolutely unacceptable. She began saying things like, "That never happened." "Really, bitch? Really? Guess again. You weren't even there." What else did I find out? The faux father preyed on her as well. They were together over 40 years ago. She was underage as well. About the same age as the maternal figure. And he was a grown-ass man, though I use the term man loosely. A real man is not a pedophile. A real man does not prey on little girls. That's 2 girls that I can prove he preyed on. Are there more? I believe there are many more. However, I can't prove it. Not yet. He's disgusting. And in my firm opinion, he should have been in prison years ago. The fact that I can remember the time that I peed my pants when I was 2 years old is insane to me. I just remember thinking I'd be in trouble. When I wasn't, it was confusing to me. I felt like I was hiding something I shouldn't hide, that I was lying, and somehow I knew that was wrong. This obviously wasn't the worst trauma, simply the first I can remember. The devil in my head. I can see the humor in this now, but it wasn't funny at all when it happened to me. I really thought I was possessed by the devil, even though I had no idea what possession even was. I feel badly for my father. The maternal figure was cruel to him. He didn't know that I would take it literally, and I now wonder if this incident led to her scheme about coaching me into saying that my father was molesting me. I think I may feel guilty about this. I definitely need to work on this some more in therapy. Getting the gun pulled on me when I was 4 years old was both petrifying as well as frustrating, and brings up intense feelings of anger. I remember not being believed by the maternal figure more than anything. That was devastating. There was no way in hell I ever would have made something like that up. It was so cruel and instilled further feelings of mistrust in regard to her. The maternal figure threatening to coach me into saying that my father was molesting me. This piece of human garbage. I have the type of mind that could think up a scheme so horrific, so cruel, I still can't wrap my mind around it. Anger is the feeling that comes up for me, once again, more than any other feeling. I understand, cognitively and logically, why my father had to leave me after this. I get it, but I'm still pissed about it. She would have done it. Of this I'm sure, if he had not left. However, I feel so fucking robbed. Robbed of a safe relationship with my father, and robbed of my innocence because they told me about her scheme when I was little. I firmly believe that the faux father, Graham, and Aunt Judas, all of which are some of the maternal figure's worst flying monkeys, knew about her scheme, at the very least, if not were complicit in the creating of it. They all spoke of it with me growing up. They knew. None of them put a stop to it. I can't, and frankly do not believe that I should forgive them for it. This was one of the worst traumas of my entire life, and I hate them for making me distrust my father and for putting those disgusting thoughts in my head. The Disneyland trip at 4 years old. Okay, this is really interesting. This was obviously a trauma, but one I had repressed. There are many traumas I repressed. How could there not be? What I did not understand at this time of writing this book. Sorry, I lost my place. What I did not understand at this time of writing the book was that narrative exposure therapy causes those repressed memories to surface. Certain traumatic events trigger the repressed memories. I had this happen many times over the course of the books. It continues to happen. This was just the first time during this process. The Disneyland trip was terrifying. I told you that the movie Fantasia was triggering to me as a child. It was the part of the devil that traumatized me. So did Sleeping Beauty. Maleficent scared the crap out of me as a child. She probably reminded me of the maternal figure now that I think about it. To see her on stilts reaching out for the kids, hell no. I went into fight, flight, freeze, or fawn mode, and my ass needed to flee. It's amazing that Graham and Aunt Judas were able to find me, frankly. God, that was so scary to me. Preschool. Dear reader, no child should ever experience what I experienced there. That lead teacher was sadistic. This is one of the traumas which I think EMDR may need to be implemented for me. It still makes me cry when I read about it or think about it. I still have flashbacks and nightmares about it. I also believe that this was the first time I had dissociated at this level. I remember absolutely nothing from when I was fighting to get the teachers off of me to waking up. Whatever it did to me, it was extreme. Graham and the faux father drinking in the kitchen. Aside from the obvious trauma of being cut by the glass, this was one of the many times I can recall Graham completely disgusted with the faux father. I don't remember the specifics, just Graham saying, "You know what I think of you," and "You know what you are," to the faux father. I knew she hated him. I didn't understand why. I just knew that she had this unbelievable vitriol towards him. What I know of Graham now is that she is a perpetual people pleaser. She doesn't want anyone angry with her. She will tell anyone what she believes they want to hear rather than how she truly feels. I suppose, unless alcohol is involved. It's incredibly hurtful, as I know she has not been defending me from the disgusting smear campaigns against me, which are perpetuated by the family. I currently have separated myself from her. Her toxicity and game playing has kept me stuck. As difficult as it is, I have to stay away from her for the time being for my mental health. It hurts, but it is necessary. My poor traumatized brain and the nightmares about Graham getting her head chopped off by the neighborhood kids. Reader, my recurrent nightmares are absolutely terrifying. I've been having many of them since my health scare, work drama, and having to move. I actually had a hell of a nightmare last night and woke up in a sweat, so I know my poor brain is still attempting to work this stuff out. I've been so afraid my entire life to lose her. She was one of the few people over my lifetime which I thought of as safe, but I think deep down I knew she wasn't. Our relationship is so intertwined and complex, and I have struggled with that my entire life. I don't believe she will ever change or take responsibility for the parts she has played, which have deeply hurt me. It's devastating. Praying to the angels. I absolutely did not understand why God and the angels kept me here. I thought I was in trouble for something. Oh, this is making me sad. I thought I was in trouble for something, that this life was some type of punishment. I was like 4. I was in so much pain, and it never seemed to subside. To know that the maternal figure found humor in my praying, and found humor in my legitimate pain, makes me physically ill. She reveled in it. I don't know if it was that she took pleasure in my pain in general, or if the pleasure was that she was the one causing it. It's probably a combination of both. Sick. Alright, let's talk about Adia and why it was I could not let her go. Adia never told me she wasn't gay. I always thought she was at the very least bisexual. So the idea that I had held my entire life was that I wasn't good enough, was constantly playing out in my head. It was beyond painful, as I had never loved a woman the way I loved her. Though I did not tell her everything, shit, I was hiding so much from myself. How the hell could I? I did tell her more than once, more than anyone else, about me since Angela. For her to truly know me and to continuously reject me in a variety of ways was killing me. I had myself completely convinced that she couldn't love me because I was truly unlovable. This was the narrative that continuously played through my head for over 20 years. I didn't know that I was stuck in the grief cycle. I was stuck at acceptance for many years. My trauma therapist, Abigail, caught on to this right away. Seriously, I am eternally grateful to Abigail for understanding and for helping me to understand. I'm also grateful to Adia for finally telling me her truth. It's still horribly painful, but damn was it necessary. There's chapter 13. That was hard. Especially the part about with the maternal figure threatening to coach me into saying my dad was molesting me, and then the preschool holding the blanket over my head, and the praying to the angels, because that was all the time. And to know that my mom was there laughing at me. There it is, guys. There it is. Thank you for listening. I'll do chapter 14, maybe 15 next week. They're not as long. So maybe both. I hope you're all doing well. As always, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. If you're going through this stuff and you're a survivor and you're a lifetime survivor and you're still trying to figure out how to heal, know that it's possible. It's hard, but it's possible. It worked for me. All right, everybody take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.